course, your Minnesota Vikings are star-studded, man, with Justin friggin' Jefferson and Dalvin and Darisaw and Zadarius Smith, Harrison Smith, Patrick Peterson, etc. But what about the guys who do the dirty work? What about the guys in the mid and bottom of the roster doing all of the dirty work, doing things on special teams, doing the dirty work on defense? Wanted to give them a little shout out. So we got the top 5 underrated Vikings right now. Number 1, Kirk Cousins. Just play. Although, I mean, Kirk, he's not putting up the numbers, man, but he's getting it done in the clutch. And some of his throws are, especially against the Bills in that second half, come on, baby. But underrated Viking number 1, defensive tackle Harrison Phillips. Now, you can put Harrison Phillips and Diesel Dalvin Thompson in this vein, but want to shout out Phillips because of that amazing game that he had against his former squad. 7 pressures from a nose tackle, just getting after it. Harrison Phillips, I mean, you saw him. You saw 97 out there on passing downs, and he was getting after Josh Allen's ass, man. But 28 tackles this season, 1.5 sacks, 18 pressures, highest run defense grade of any Vikings player in the front 7. And Phillips, I mean, he may be one of the value signings of the year. I mean, well, Zadarius is obviously the value signing of the year, but Phillips coming over from the Bills, and he's just a good dude off the field. The Bills fans were sad that he left for his play on the field, and he's already entrenched in the community. He's great along the defensive line. He's a good leader out there. Absolutely love me some Harrison Phillips, man. The pride of Stanford. I loved him in the draft. It's just one of those spots where it works out. Next up, underrated Viking number 2, special teamer Chris Boyd. Now, so a lot of fans were wondering, well, how Chris Boyd's been on this team for a hot minute. How come guys like Duke Shelley coming in from the practice squad were in on defense ahead of Boyd against the Bills? How come guys like a Caleb Evans and Andrew Booth Jr., the rookies, are ahead of Chris Boyd? It may not be a demerit on Boyd as a cornerback in the defense. It may just be because he is so important to special teams. And I know special teams players is like, oh, you're the backups. I mean, you're just bottom of the roster guys. You're whatever. No, I mean, special teamers are essentially starters, and the Vikings have one of the best special teams unit in the league. Well, outside of Greg Joseph. We'll get to him. But the Vikings are among the leaders in starting field position and opposing starting field position. And Chris Boyd is one of the big reasons why. He's played 199 special team snaps, most on the team. He's got 4 tackles, and he absolutely deserves Pro Bowl votes. The pride of Texas, hook him, baby. That's right. He deserves to go to the Pro Bowl games, or at least be voted, because he won't be playing because the Vikings will be playing in the Super Bowl. Yes. But, I mean, Chris Boyd, I mean, he's an outspoken dude for sure, and you would think that he could have been bitter because he had been replaced by guys like Duke Shelley and replaced by guys like Evans and Booth, the rookies. But no, like, he put his nose to the grindstone, fully bought into what Matt Daniels is selling on special teams, and I love it. Like, I mean, 29 is a major part of the team. I consider special teamers starters because they're on the field almost as many snaps as offense and defense, and they make up all that hidden yardage. Because there's a big difference between starting 15, 20 yards difference every single possession, offense and defense. I mean, special teamers are really important, man, which plays into point number 3. So special teamers Troy Dye and Josh Metellus, where, again, Troy Dye, backup linebacker, probably fell to 4th string behind Brian Asamoah, and rightfully so. But Troy Dye has done some really good work on special teams. The pride of Oregon. Josh Metellus, man, Michigan, man. Like, yes, he had a great spot start against Detroit, but his main flex is special teams. Both of them have 5 tackles. Both of them have 170-plus special team snaps this year, so they're getting after it. So, Boyd, Dye, Metellus, Diamond Danchasena, they've been doing really good work for Matt Daniels and company. Next up, underrated Viking number 4, it's got to be CJ Ham. Got to be, man. So, special teams captain CJ Ham. I mean, so here's what's great about CJ Ham. The pride of Duluth, the pride of Augustana, and SIC represent, where, I mean, CJ Ham was one of the most used fullbacks in the league in previous years. The Vikings were very much a two-back set team, and he's leading the way for Dalvin Cook. This year, a lot more single-back sets. But CJ Ham didn't complain a bit. I mean, so he basically was bumped for being a regular starter to a guy who plays a handful of snaps a game on offense, but he's getting after it on special teams. He is the special teams captain. He is a leader there, and he did not complain one iota. That is the definition of being a true team player. Plus, good dude off the field, good dude in the community. And also, got rewarded, got himself a rushing touchdown against the Bills. Woo! No one expects the fullback dive. CJ Ham, Augustana Viking, just punching it in. I love it, man. I love it. Like, this team. Well, obviously, as an athlete, like everyone's got an ego, right? Especially athletes. But the fact that these guys have set them aside and they're doing all of these small things, all the things that don't get the highlights, all the things that don't get into the box score, they're helping the Vikings win. Like, so, you could say that if you're building a foundation, like the stars are the bricks, sure, but you need that mortar. You need that mortar to hold everything together. And these guys are big time glue guys. Lastly, underrated Viking number 5. KJ Osborne. He's our guy, man. Like, even though, could the Vikings use OBJ? Sure. I mean, but KJ, maybe it's just something about number 17 for the Vikings, because Jarius Wright had this as well, where they're just clutch. Like, they don't put up monster numbers, but if you need a big play on third down late in the game, they'll be there, man. And KJ, who I think can become a 1,000-yard receiver in this league, but 25 catches, 221 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns on 40 targets this year. Not a lot. I mean, that's not a lot, but there's a lot of mouths to feed on that offense, especially with Justin Jefferson, Thielen, Hawkinson's in there now. But KJ, he's got 9 first downs. Also had that fourth down sweep where he would not go down against the Bills. Playing in his former college city. He used to be a Buffalo Bull. That's right. And then KJ just oh, no, you are not stopping me. Second, third, fourth effort just gets it done. I love it. And again, all these guys, they're just like, hey, team comes first. And the attitude is infectious. Attitude is infectious. Just want to give a little bit of love, a little bit of shout out to these guys doing all of the dirty work and just getting it. Just getting it, man. Like these guys, again, Jefferson, Cousins, Dalvin, Za'Darius, the stars are going to get the highlights. It just sort of is what it is. But, these guys and the other guys on the roster doing work on special teams, doing work as rotational defensive linemen, doing work all over the place. These guys are what make the team. That's right, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Top 5 underrated Vikings on the squad. Well, I guess it's 6. Nailed it. Underrated Vikings right now. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol production value.